What's good, man? It's OG Drip, man. This is a channel where we talk about the spiritual truth and how to utilize energy on a day-to-day basis. But today, man, we finna be talking about how these powers that be, or whatever y'all want to call them, you know what I'm saying, try to utilize energy. So, y'all, listen, if you ever paid attention to things, they always do stuff according to their manuals. And what I mean by their manuals is they books, they stories, they movies, or whatever they seen to show you what they're at least about to take a step in towards. You get what I'm saying? Like, right now, if you can see by the title, the fake alien invasion, right? So listen, not only are they pushing, got celebrities or the woke conscious community thinking that this is what's about to go on, don't realize what an actual alien is. You know what I'm saying? It gets deep, y'all. Alien, just put it like this, is spirit. But for the time being, let's just talk about the way that they looking at it, right? So throughout their books, throughout their times, they already gave you an image of what aliens look like, right? You see it on the video games, you see it on the movies or whatnot. They all have to have some type of physical forms, physical representation. Now, once again, this is one of the things they have took from what was spirit and turned it man. So, in their image that they're creating is something else completely different. You get what I'm saying? But it's the same thing as using us to put together some, like, it's basically like if you look at us, we it's like how they explain the caveman. Like today, if you look today, man, caveman, like where's the monkeys that turn into humans or whatever? See, so you already see that that is a lie. They'll try to cover up and say now times different and all type of bug jump to cover up their lies. But you got to remember, when you dig a hole to tell one lie, you got to keep digging. So now they have dig so many holes and they so deep that now they have to continue this and push the agenda and the stuff that they pushed out there as their truth. So this is where the truth and false and truth and what's the lies and all this get confusing at. So that's just like today. Today you could argue with saying that the CV ain't real or whatever, but you're gonna look like you're telling a lie according to them because they have molded it to be the truth. Just like they have molded people's minds into thinking this is what aliens is and this is what's going on when it's talking about higher intellect and stuff like that. You got to remember all these words talking about higher is the spiritual form. All the words that's talking about lower is your human form or the physical forms that you see here, the ones that actually have a form. So when we breaking down things like that, you can't let it get you confused because this is how they could use things to make people scared, to be fear mongers. So even though people talking about, oh, the aliens coming here and da da da, little do you know it's still bringing fear to others because they're looking at it like no one actually came in contact with these things and actually talked to them. Now, what I am going to say is I'm not saying there's not a such thing in that case because you got to remember, like I just said, they will make it a thing. They will take a human and do whatever to it. Who is you to tell them that they didn't do this to this thing to make it look like a creature that's not from this planet? So when you arguing with stuff like that, you got to be very careful. So that's the reason why I talk like that. So I'm not gonna say I believe in nothing they talking about. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that they could make something to try to put out the image that they want. Cause you got to remember this man. So anytime it come down to an image, they're gonna make it a physical concept only when it's talking about physical, not when it's talking about spiritual. They're gonna try to make it like things is physical too. You get what I'm saying? So you got to kind of understand and read through what I'm saying. That's just like all the gods throughout their history and stuff like that. It wasn't no actual physical man or no physical woman. It always been a spirit, but this is what the spirit is acting out as, such as it's moving off his emotions or it's moving off of his ideals and his thoughts, his first thoughts and stuff. So when we start getting deep into understanding what be really going on here, what I'm saying is anything they say, don't look at it as in, they just lying about, oh, it's no more milk or something like that, for example, right? Don't look at it for saying that. Say that there's other milk out there, but they don't want you to know about it. So they'll tell you that there's no more of this, so you can be stuck between thinking that there's a false between what they're telling you, but they're the one that gave you the whole story and the rundown of it anyway. So they could prove their fact to be untrue. They could hire people to be like, oh yeah, I seen aliens. People that's older and stuff like that, they probably really think they seen aliens, but it's so old could barely see. Bro, it be stuff out here that y'all gotta really sit back and take time and really think about what's really going on. So now my whole thing about this alien talk, right? So now when you look at the games, right? I got a gaming channel, y'all know or whatnot. But I'm over there, I'm playing a game. Every game that I'm starting to play has did an update where they're bringing aliens around, right? So now you got the Logan Paul dude talking about him. You got these people talking about, you know what I mean? So now it's like building up the energy. Like I told you, esoterically, all energy is good energy. So they don't care if you're talking bad about it. They don't care if you're talking positive about it, but you're talking about it. So therefore, you're still adding to their spirit bomb. Only thing that spirit bomb take is a whole bunch of spirits to give it attention, which is the same thing that people look out for sight today, which is why they use physical images to confuse people, because they know people is like concrete. They get so physical, they forget that things spiritually happening. You know what I mean? So when I say God, I'm talking about miracle power, universe, however you want to look at it. I'm not talking about no physical man representation that is a part of life. So when we looking at this, they're trying to get you stuck in a phase of life that you will be reincarnated and recycling things that you shouldn't even be recycling from the beginning. Things that you should have been moved past. Lessons that you should have been learned. You should activate that Jupiter power. You feel me? So they're trying to take that away. So when we looking at all of this confusement, you need to know that this is not the first time. It's not going to be the last time. They might not even do the fake alien invasion. It depends on what they want to do according to how much attention they attract. You know what I mean? They start seeing people getting hemmed to certain things. They may start just making other moves and playing like they don't see what's going on. It's like this. It's like this, right? They throw something out there and be like, yo, I don't see that out there. Oh, everybody see it out there? Let's act like we don't see it out there, but we know we the one threw it out there. It's that type of mind trick. It's that type of mind game that's going on. So it's kind of like dropping it's like a rich person trying to drop $100 bill around some folks to impress them. And they try to act like, oh, I don't even know if that's my money. I don't know. And then, just acting like they just got so much money that they don't know what's going on. But either way, not to get too far off the topic, I just want y'all to understand the idea of what I'm saying. So when it come down to all of this stuff they pushing, they got to have something behind it to even put it in your mind and try to program it. Like we said, what are they programs? They TV, on the TV, when we say that now, we got to include the internet, whatever you watching on cable, whatever is what they call entertainment. See, that's another whole thing. See, we let them categorize stuff for them to be like, this is what it is. But really, dog, it's mind tricks. That's all it is. And you giving me some bull to so many times that I think is normal, and that's all that I see. You know what I mean? It's repetition behind this. So we got to understand that as well. So at the end of the day, man, don't let none of this stuff scare you. Don't let them try to confuse you. Ain't nothing going on. They just scared that everybody started getting hemmed to this stuff. They're starting to come up with lies more rapidly. People is not even wearing it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even going along with the agenda that they've been trying to push. They done lost their own numbers multiple times. Y'all, if y'all really want to research these people, keep up with the numbers that they're using. You could tell they clearly making up stuff out they tell, bro, to cover other ends of it. You know what I mean? After a while, you'll see them be like, oh, there was a mistake here. Like, how is y'all making mistakes and stuff if y'all the one supposedly is the smartest and da-da-da? But if we make a mistake, you got people locked up in jail right now for life for making mistakes. You know what I mean? And stuff like that, just so forth, right? That you can't even prove if they did it or not. But y'all the judges, y'all the ones that's in control of this world. So no matter what goes on, y'all gonna try to push it to that limit to make a person give up on their spirit and only bow down and be authorized by the stuff y'all gotta give out and push out. Just like this, right? You got a whole bunch of people believing in it. So now when you go out to say something against it, like, yo, this ain't what an alien is, it's this and that, there. Oh, you gonna get, oh man, you gonna go through it. You gotta argue with 1,500 people. But at the end of the day, what do that 1,500 mean if they didn't do no research outside of what they have been taught? So all of this stuff have been programmed to them. So you can't look at it like, oh, they're part of the program. You know what I mean? You can't look at it like, oh, they're going to be able to understand or be able to overstand what I'm trying to get at. No, they're not. They're just in one stance and they're not trying to move from it. And that's whatever point of life that these people tell them they're in. Tell them like, oh, you can do better in life if you do this and do that. But all of it is a secret way to authorize you and have you locked under their conditions more and more. So at the end of the day, man, we're going to see all type of stuff. We might even see some drone footage in the air with a whole bunch of little drones with lights on them doing all type of crazy junk. Listen, we ain't saying that they don't own a actual spaceship of what they done made. Dude, once they say, yo, they take a shoe or something, bro, no name shoe, right? And they be like, this was the first shoe there was. Bro, they're going to make that the first shoe. They will go back and make Opal, you know what I'm saying, pictures, take pictures like they just took them, like they took them in the 1700s, but just took them yesterday. Bro, they will go through all of this to make their point stand. So when it comes down to logic, is what I'm saying, that's That's what you could call some logical stuff. But when we talking about the spiritual stuff, an alien is not that, buddy. But logic, they're going to wrap it around to being that. You see it. They put it in the movies, games, or whatever. Nobody have yet to seen one, but yet from the stuff they seeing, we don't even know if it's a different type of animal that you don't know about that you done seen in the middle of the night. You know, it's going to be all type of people seeing stuff. But notice, it's always a weird time of the day, and you could barely see, you just waking up. They always got stuff that they try to make a story so good that the story end up being retarded at the end of the day. Excuse me for the R word, but anyway, man, I'm out, man. I just want to talk about that because I don't want people sitting here getting all scared thinking that some stuff about to really happen like that. But anyway, it's some stuff about to happen. Some aliens about to move in, all right? People started living in the slave mentality that they have been giving them. Tired of that old beat-up spaceship. That's what it is. It's time to live a new life. Time for ascension. Time for the real ones, real spiritual leaders, and real, well, not even leaders. We got to change that. They done messed that word up. The real spirits out here to take over, man. And I'm out. OG Drill.